Hi, welcome to this video, and in this video I will be starting with a question. Have you heard the statement that opposites attract to basically mean that people of very opposite personalities end up together, end up dating, or end up married? If you have heard about that, that is exactly what I will be talking about in this video, because I believe there's nothing in this world that God just or just happens for chance or just happens for the sake of it. So I believe God created us to actually be attracted to people who are very opposite to us for a reason, right? And it's something that I have noticed that most couples, if not all, right? If not all, most couples are actually very different from each other. And so that is why I wanted to talk about that in this video. But just before I get to the 4 points I have to just encourage you in knowing that it's a blessing to actually be opposite to the people you are attracted to. Just before that, it's good I mentioned that being of opposite personalities doesn't mean that the marriage must or the marriage will be easy. It actually means some of the things that attract you to your partner, which are actually supposed to be a blessing, might be the reason that you end up fighting a lot in when you're dating or when you get married, right? So because you are very different, they could be the reason why you find yourselves fighting and disagreeing and having friction in your relationship. But it's good to know that that difference has been put there for a blessing. And that is what I will be mentioning in this video. 4 reasons why I believe God has created us to be so different, especially for marriage. Okay, but just before that, if you're new in this channel, my name is Grace, and all I talk about in this channel is things to do with creating a good foundation for your marriage. And especially before you even get married, before you start dating, and when you're dating, basically all that has to do with creating a good foundation. So if you're new in this channel, you've not yet subscribed, please make sure to hit the subscribe button if you're interested in the kind of content I have just informed you I post. And if you've always been coming back, you've already subscribed, thank you so much. And make sure to give us a like for all the videos that you enjoy and share with a friend. Anybody you think could benefit from the videos that I post, please share so that you don't just enjoy alone, right? Yeah, thank you. So let's get started. The first point why I believe God has made sure that opposite personalities end up together is to have a balance for the children. So to have balanced children. So as basically, I think I talked about one of the main purposes God wants people together is for Him to have a godly offspring. So God has your children in mind before you even get married. So He has to bring people together with the children in mind, the children He wants to bless you with. And so God brings people who are very opposite so that you can bring balance to the children you get. So for example, if you're both sanguines, you're both outgoing, a child might not understand when they go out there and find someone who is not as outgoing. They might not realize that they're actually people who are introverts. And that could be uncomfortable for them. But if they have been home, they have seen their mom to be very outgoing, very loud, very friendly, making friends so easily, and their dad is reserved and quiet and just loves their own space, just loves maybe getting home, reading the newspaper or watching the news. Nothing very looks so exciting and all. Children realize that people are different. People are not all loud, and also people are not all quiet. So God has children in mind. So He gives two people who are very different an opportunity to be together so that they can raise balanced children. So children can identify with either parent and pick up that personality and run with it, right? Or rather relate with, because personalities, I think we are born with, right? So they can relate with a certain personality because they have seen one of their parents being more like who they are. Okay, so I believe that is one very important reason why God makes opposites attract. The other reason, number 2, is to support each other. The Bible actually says 2 are better than 1 because when one falls, the other will be able to pick them up. When it is cold, they keep each other warm. So basically, one thing I have realized is what your strengths are your partner's weaknesses. And what their weaknesses are your strength. So you find when you get married or even when you're in a relationship, you will realize that you're able to support the other person for where they are weak. For example, you might find someone who is so good with budgeting, and this is so common in marriage. There's someone who is so good with money, good with budgeting, good with following the budgets, good with making sure things are in place, especially financially. And then you find the other person is not so good with finances. They are the people who will have like 1,000 in the morning, and in the evening they have nothing, and they also have nothing to show for it. So they cannot tell you where the money exactly went. And that is so common in most marriages, that one person is very good with keeping accounts, and the other person is so bad with their accounts. Okay, so the two, when they come together, they are able to support one another. And most times you find that people who are very good with accounts, they're also very let me not call them stingy, but they are holders. So you find that there's no fun, they don't spend for on themselves. And I think for me that has been like a very huge weakness for me, where I can hold money and not spend on myself, not do anything fun. And that is where now my husband came in. Because he was very good with spending. He would go all out for fun. So at least I started learning to be a bit, be nice to myself, be nice to us, like not make sure that we have nothing. Like when the money comes in, I already plan for it, and we have nothing to actually enjoy. So you support one another so that you don't go to the extremes. So when you're different, you'll not go all out, you'll not go to the extremes, but you're able to support each other and work things out to have a balance in marriage. And that leads me to the other thing, which is making each other better. When you are opposites, you know that your strengths are your partner's weaknesses. You start working and helping them in those weaknesses. Like I've said, when we were starting, when we were dating, and even the early, maybe our first year or so in marriage, financially, I started realizing I was a holder. Like I didn't want us to spend on anything for fun. But then my husband came in and started helping me realize that some things we can just have a good time once in a while. We don't have to always feel like we can't spend the little money that we have earned. And on the other hand, I helped him realize that he needs to account for the money. When we budget, then we have to account. How have we spent the money? Where has our money gone? Right? So we started making each other better. And honestly, for now, I can say that I have become better in just trying to enjoy life, even when we don't have all the money in the world, but the little we have, at least we are able to have a good time when we are able to. And we are also able to budget together without him feeling like, oh, you don't want us to have a good time and all. So you make each other better. For example, let me give you another example. You might find that someone is very easily irritable and the other person is calm and well collected. When you realize you're easily irritable and the other person is calm, you start learning how to be calm like them, right? And you start working on yourself. When you realize your personality is becoming a hindrance to this relationship and to this marriage, you start working on yourself. So when opposites attract, you start sharpening one another and helping each other that your weaknesses become, at least get to the mid-level. They are not at zero. So you're building and working on your weaknesses and becoming better, right? If, for example, you are the easygoing person and the other person is a bit on the extreme, like for example, in parenting, you start learning how to become a bit firm and the other person becomes a bit easy on the children. So you make each other better. So when you go out there, people think that you're this perfect person, but it is because there's a spouse working with you and helping you become a better person, right? Because your spouse will know your weaknesses to the extreme. When you get married, your weaknesses are so exposed to your partner that you can't hide. People hide when they're dating, but trust me, you can't hide in marriage. They will get to know your weaknesses. So marriage helps you to work on your weaknesses and make each other better. The fourth thing is diversity brings excitement. I used to really struggle with fun, and I used to struggle with my husband being playful when we were dating, and even when we were friends. I used to find that really irritating. I used to enjoy serious talk, just having serious discussions. I never used to enjoy that. But over time, especially after being married now for a few years, I have realized that playfulness is so important in marriage. It helps the marriage be exciting. So diversity helps you to have an exciting relationship, an exciting marriage. And I believe that is why God has brought us to be very different. And it's not just about being playful and serious. When you are not always agreeing on everything, at least you disagree here and there and all that, it makes your relationship still exciting, because when you disagree and then you agree, when you're now agreeing on something and getting a win for the marriage, getting a win for you as a team, there's excitement that comes with that. So it keeps the relationship exciting, because if you would be agreeing on everything and anything, then there's no excitement, there's no fun in the relationship, right? So diversity brings excitement into the relationship. So I hope you've gotten something from that, and you will enjoy that you are getting attracted to an opposite person, someone who is very different from you, and appreciate that difference and diversity, because that is what makes it interesting, and that is what makes us better people, and that is what will help us raise good children and balanced children. Thank you for watching to the end, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you. God bless you.